Good morning. Today's topic is metallurgy. Now, what is metallurgy? The metallurgy is defined as the study of extraction of metals in the pure state from their ores. Now, before I discuss it further, first of all, let us talk about the occurrence. Let us talk about the occurrence of the metals. We know that all the metals in nature exist in a combined state. So when the metals occur in a combined state, what are those states? For example, in a sulfide state, for example, we can have ferrous sulfide, or we can have zinc sulfide, and so on. Then after sulfide, they also exist in the combined state with carbonates like ferrous carbonate, zinc carbonate, etc. Then the third is the oxide state. For example, zinc oxide, aluminium oxide, and so on. Now the question is, when the metal has to be extracted means when the metal has to be taken out, then from where this metal be taken out? From obviously these combined states of metal. For example, आपके पास zinc sulfide है, zinc carbonate है, आप certain processes इस सल्फाइड या कार्बोनेट ऑफ जिंक के ऊपर अप्लाई करेंगे so that the zinc can be separated from the sulfide and carbonate which is present over here. So this process of taking out the metal, right? The taking out of the metal from their combined state. उसकी combined state में से जब हम metal को separate करते हैं, this whole process comes under metallurgy. So the definition is now clear. It is the extraction of metals in their pure state from their ores, and for which purpose? For the commercial purpose. Generally manufacturing में अलग-अलग चीजों की अलग-अलग machines की the metals are required. So for that the process of metallurgy is followed. All these combined forms of metals, we call them as ores. Okay, so what are ores? Ores are those compounds of metal from which the metal can be extracted commercially and profitably. तो आपका ferrous sulfide हुआ, zinc sulfide, zinc carbonate, aluminium oxide, they are all the ores of the metal from which they can be extracted commercially. Fine. Now, there is one more term that we need to learn, and that is minerals. Now, what are minerals? Mineral is any ore that has got that particular iron present, metal present in it. कोई भी ऐसा ore जिसमें metal present है, उसकी जो raw form है, जिसमें और भी बहुत सारी impurities may or may not be present. For example, rock, sand, clay, certain impurities of other metals, right? जिस मेटल को आप एक्सट्रैक्ट करना चाहते हैं, अगर उसके अलावा दूसरे मेटल्स भी उसमें प्रेजेंट हैं, तो ऐसे रॉ मटेरियल को वी कॉल इट एज minerals. So in a nutshell, we can say that all ores are minerals, but all minerals are not ores. Now, since all this is clear, Let us now come to the part that how we are going to separate the metal from their ores. इसके लिए we are going to follow a process of concentration. So the first thing is, from the ore, first it is obtained in the form of rock. So it is obvious that this rocky form of ore must be crushed and grinded. आपने क्या किया? जब ओर माइन आउट किया, उसके बाद उसको क्रश किया, ग्राइंड किया, एंड आफ्टर ग्राइंडिंग इट वी आर गोइंग टू कॉन्सेंट्रेट इट. Now what do you mean by concentrate? The concentrate means that simply cleaning the obtained operate from the earthly impurities. Earthly impurities. Earthly impurities कौन सी होती है? The earthly impurities are like sand, then we have got clay, we have got stones. All these are earthly impurities and we call these earthly impurities as gangue. Right? So, in order to remove this gangue and certain other impurities, we need to concentrate the ore. ore में से हमें ये सब हटाना पड़ेगा. तो उसके लिए हम क्या करेंगे? What is the first method of concentration is the easiest one, that is magnetic separation. Now, as the name implies, magnetic separation. Magnetic separation generally we are going to apply on the ores that has got a metal which has got the magnetic properties. For example, the ore of iron. अब ore of iron कौन सा होता है? We have got red hematite, and we have got brown hematite. These are both the ores of iron. So obviously these will show magnetic properties and the magnetic separation can be done. Then after this comes the next property, which is your froth flotation. Now in this froth flotation, generally some water is used in which the pine oil is added. You know, these both are the immiscible liquids and the oil forms the upper surface of the water. Now add to this mixture the crushed ore. We will observe after a jet of air is passed through this mixture that the gangue will settle down and the ore will float along with the froth that is formed at the upper surface. What is froth? Froth is basically lather, जो झाग बनेगा. Now, what kind of ore is generally used to separate it from the gangue? Generally, the sulfide ores are used. For example, lead sulfide. In order to clean lead sulfide, the froth flotation is used. So, what is the principle used in froth flotation? It is the preferential wettability of the ore to the gangue. That means कि आपका ore वो फ्लोट क्यों किया सरफेस के ऊपर? क्योंकि इट डिड नॉट गेट वेट. जब वेट नहीं हुआ तो इट रिमेन्ड लाइट. in the weight, whereas the gangue, since it was able to absorb water and hence it became wet, bhari ho gayi as a result, and it settled down at the bottom. So at the surface of the water we get the lighter ore particles which will be removed when we remove the froth, whereas the gangue was able to get wet, that is why it settled down, and that is how the separation is done. रेड हेमेटाइट और ब्राउन हेमेटाइट में हमने कौन सा प्रिंसिपल यूज किया था? मैग्नेटिक प्रॉपर्टीज. Then after this comes the third method, we call it as gravity separation. The gravity separation. Now in gravity separation, we generally talk about the principle which is based is the difference in the densities of the particles of the ore and the gangue. इसमें क्या करते हैं ग्रेविटी सेपरेशन में? सिंपली अ जेट ऑफ वाटर और अ शावर ऑफ वाटर इज यूज्ड, and as a result what happens, the heavier particles of the ore, they settles down and the gangue is washed away, right? And then comes the next one, which is your chemical method. The chemical method is also called as leaching. The chemical method and leaching. Now, what is the principle on which the chemical method works? It is the simple solubility of the ore. Chemical method में we are going to select a chemical reagent that may be an acid, and in that we are going to mix the crushed and grounded ore. What will happen is that the ore, the crushed ore, the particles will simply dissolve in that chemical reagent, whereas the gangue will remain undissolved. Simply filter it out, remove the gangue, and further expose this dissolved ore to further purification. So now today we have learned about the 4 different methods of the concentration of the ore. इस concentration का main aim क्या था? To remove the gangue, the impurities which were not chemically combined with the ore, right? Now once the gangue is removed and the simple, clean, pure ore is left behind, the next step is now the roasting and the calcination. The roasting and calcination. Now let us first of all understand the purpose behind this roasting and calcination. इन दोनों का purpose है to convert any ore which is not in its oxide state to bring it to the oxide state. Generally, the roasting is done on sulfide ores, whereas the calcination is done generally on the carbonate ores. Now, what is roasting? Roasting में होता क्या है? Roasting is the heating of an ore at high temperature in the presence of oxygen. ओके, रोस्टिंग में जो हमारे पास ओर है दैट इज गोइंग टू बी हीटेड एट अ वेरी हाई टेम्परेचर, और जनरली ये ओर कौन सा होने वाला है? दिस ओर इज गोइंग टू बी अ सल्फाइड ओर. लेट अस टेक एन एग्जांपल ऑफ जिंक सल्फाइड. ओके, एंड व्हाट इज कैल्सिनेशन? Calcination is generally done on a carbonate ore. However, calcination is the heating of ore at a high temperature in the absence of oxygen. कैल्सिनेशन और रोस्टिंग में ये बेसिक डिफरेंस है कि रोस्टिंग हम इन द प्रेजेंस ऑफ ऑक्सीजन करते हैं, जबकि जो कैल्सिनेशन है दैट इज इन द absence of oxygen. It is generally done on carbonates. So let us take the example of zinc carbonate. Roasting और calcination का aim क्या है? The aim is to convert the ore into its oxide state. हमें हर ore को कोशिश करना है कि वो अपनी oxide state में आ जाए. अब इसका एक example देखिए, how to convert it. When zinc sulfide is heated in the presence of oxygen. So this is the presence of oxygen at a high temperature. कितना हो सकता है? 800 to 900 degree Celsius. It will give us the zinc oxide plus sulfur and oxygen gives us sulfur dioxide. So that's it. Zinc sulfide has been converted to zinc oxide. Now let us have a look at what happens when zinc carbonate is heated in the absence of oxygen. The question is, यहाँ absence of oxygen क्यों किया? यहाँ presence थी मगर यहाँ absence of oxygen क्यों required है? देखो यहाँ पर already हमारे पास इस molecule of zinc carbonate में every molecule consists of at least 3 oxygen atoms. हमारे पास already sufficient amount of oxygen है. यहाँ पर हमें सिर्फ इतना ऑक्सीजन चाहिए जिससे कि हमारा जिंक कार्बोनेट जिंक ऑक्साइड में कन्वर्ट हो सके. दैट मीन्स इस केस में हम ये चाह रहे हैं जो एक्सेस ऑक्सीजन है वो भी इसमें से रिमूव हो जाए. और ये कब होगा? जब एब्सेंस ऑफ ऑक्सीजन होगा. अगर हम इसको किसी भी फॉर दैट मैटर ओर को इन द प्रेजेंस ऑफ ऑक्सीजन हीट करेंगे देन इट विल अंडरगो ऑक्सीडेशन. ऑक्सीडेशन मीन्स एडिशन ऑफ ऑक्सीजन. जबकि हम यहाँ क्या चाह रहे हैं? वी आर ट्राइंग to remove excess of oxygen. So obviously it has to be heated in the absence of oxygen. So what will it do? Zinc carbonate will break and it will give you zinc oxide plus carbon dioxide. So you can have a look here that zinc oxide has been obtained and here also zinc oxide has been obtained. So the purpose of the roasting and calcination has been achieved. The next question कि अगर हमारा ओर ऑक्साइड स्टेट में आ भी गया तो इससे क्या बेनिफिट होगा? अगेन व्हाट इज द पर्पस? द पर्पस इज इफ द ओर इज इन इट्स ऑक्साइड स्टेट तो सिंपल हम उस पर क्या कर सकते हैं? वी कैन जस्ट मेक इट अंडरगो द रिएक्शन ऑफ रिडक्शन. What is reduction in terms of oxygen? That is loss of oxygen. ठीक. अब आप इमेजिन करिए अगर आपके पास जिंक ऑक्साइड है और इस जिंक ऑक्साइड में से if the oxygen is removed then what are you left with? We will be left with zinc, right? So the extraction of metal, right? So that is why the ores of sulfide and carbonates are made to undergo roasting and calcination. Now when the ore is undergoing the roasting, it not only converts to zinc oxide but certain other volatile impurities are also removed, whereas here the impurities like moisture etc are also removed during the process of calcination. So हमारा पर्पस इसका हमारा ओर जो था वो ऑक्साइड स्टेट में आ गया. So the next step is the reduction. So reduction in terms of oxygen is simply loss of oxygen. So here we are going to discuss how the oxygen can be removed from the oxide of the metal obtained after the roasting and the calcination. For this, we must understand that we are going to use the reducing agents. हमें मालूम है for the process of reduction a reducing agent has to be present. What is reducing agent? The compound that helps in the process of reduction by gaining of oxygen. That means this reducing agent is going to gain the oxygen and thereby helping the molecule undergo reduction by giving away its oxygen. So reducing agent is required. There are three common reducing agents that we are going to discuss here. Number one is carbon, next is carbon monoxide, and next one is hydrogen. So three reducing agents we are going to discuss. Let us have the example of ferrous sulfide. Let's have the example of ferrous oxide. The reduction has to be done. So in ferrous oxide, let us first of all react it with carbon. That means this is a reducing agent here. Ferrous oxide has to undergo the reduction. What will happen? Simply, we will get iron plus carbon monoxide. The same ferrous oxide can also be reduced using the second reducing agent, which is carbon monoxide. So, plus carbon monoxide, it will give us Fe plus CO2. Okay? And we can also reduce it using the hydrogen. So ferrous oxide plus hydrogen gives you iron plus H2O. राइट, तो हम इन तीन में से कोई भी एक रिड्यूसिंग एजेंट यूज करेंगे और जो हमारा ऑक्साइड ऑफ द मेटल है उसको हम इजीली रिड्यूस कर सकते हैं. ये तीन हमारे कॉमन रिड्यूसिंग एजेंट्स हैं. यहाँ हमें एक चीज बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट ध्यान में रखनी है दैट अपार्ट फ्रॉम फेरस ऑक्साइड, लेड ऑक्साइड, द जिंक ऑक्साइड इसकी यहाँ हमको एक बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट बात याद रखनी है कि ऑल्दो कार्बन, कार्बन मोनोऑक्साइड एंड हाइड्रोजन देयर आर थ्री रिड्यूसिंग एजेंट, बट इन केस ऑफ जिंक ऑक्साइड द कार्बन मोनोऑक्साइड and hydrogen, they cannot be used as the reducing agents. Zinc oxide इनके साथ reduce ही नहीं करता. The zinc oxide only reduces with the carbon. So that is it. Zinc oxide plus carbon gives you zinc plus carbon monoxide. So ये एक बड़ा important question exam में आता है that the zinc oxide का रिडक्शन जो है name the reducing agent that can reduce the zinc oxide. So that is how the zinc is obtained by the reduction process of the zinc oxide with the help of carbon. Now let us talk of the oxides of certain very reactive metals like potassium, sodium, aluminium, etc. जितने भी आपके highly reactive metals हैं, how do they reduce? Do they use the same common reducing agents, or what is the process by which the metal can be obtained from the oxides of these highly reactive metals? For example, potassium है, sodium है, and aluminium. It is very important for us because this is what we are going to learn about in this chapter further. So since all these three are common reducing agents, they cannot be used in order to reduce the oxides of potassium, sodium and aluminium. The reason is that they show a great affinity. The word is affinity. They show great affinity for ऑक्सीजन. ये जितने भी हमारे हाईली रिएक्टिव मेटल्स हैं ये ऑक्सीजन के साथ बहुत ही स्टेबल कंपाउंड फॉर्म करते हैं. दे फॉर्म अ स्टेबल कंपाउंड. एज अ रिजल्ट ये जो स्टेबल कंपाउंड है इस स्टेबल कंपाउंड को हम इन कॉमन रिड्यूसिंग एजेंट से रिड्यूस नहीं कर पाते. Now, how to reduce these oxides of aluminium? For example, let us talk of Al2O3. Now, this is the oxide of aluminium. अब एल्यूमिनियम तो एक्सट्रैक्ट करना है। जब ये एल्यूमिनियम ऑक्साइड इन कॉमन रिड्यूसिंग एजेंट से रिड्यूस ही नहीं होगा, यानी this oxygen we will not be able to get rid of this oxygen using these common reducing agents, then how do we obtain aluminum? For that, instead of this, we use electrolytic reduction. So, the compounds of potassium, sodium and aluminium, especially with कौन से compounds? The oxides. The oxides of potassium, sodium, aluminium, that means जितने भी highly reactive metals हैं, since they are highly stable in nature. Why are they highly stable? Because these metals have got great affinity for oxygen. Great affinity means that they just do not let go of oxygen very easily. And that is why the oxides of these metals cannot be reduced using these three common reducing agents, but the electrolytic reduction. In the next class, we will discuss in detail the electrolytic reduction of aluminium. Till then, read this properly. I hope the lesson is clear. Thank you.